You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who once planted evidence so he could make a citizen's arrest, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Nite Lite. Hey, everybody, how you doing? I am Pete Schwaba. It is a beautiful Friday night here in the state of Wisconsin. Hope you're having a great day as we head into the weekend. Lots going on today, lots to discuss. I want to talk about my ride down tonight. That's always fun, right, Con? That's a good time.
Yeah.
And we've got lots to discuss. We've got overzealous Facebook posters. We're going to talk about TV shows we've been meaning to watch but haven't. And kissing a girl on screen as part of a role. Actor Neil McDonough says he would never do it, and it's cost him work. So we'll discuss that. Lots of controversial topics to get to in the way of show business tonight. We're going to talk about movies and TV and comedy and music and all kinds of great stuff that makes us happy, especially heading into the weekend. Working the board tonight, as always, is Conrad Krieger.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
It's getting down today. I checked the app today, the weather app.
Oh,
it's
really?
at 114.
Oh, God. You know what? I went to bed last night. It's funny you mentioned that. My eyes were tearing and burning.
Really?
Yes. And when I got home, my wife had a lot of the windows open, and I don't think the air bothered her because the night before I left the air on just because But does that even matter? Like, you're still getting air from the outside. Like, maybe it's filtered a little bit, but I don't know if that really helps that much or not. But
yeah, so it's. I hope it gets down. I hope Canada is like, all right, we let's stop putting it to them. Let's leave it in Canada.
Right. There's not really much they could do. I mean, trees were struck by lightning. That's not really a. But it does seem to. It's just like the third year in a row. Maybe it's come from Canada. I don't know. But we'll get through it. We'll figure it out, folks, and we'll do it together. I have some fun guests tonight. Coming up at 6:35, this is going to be fun. We've got Spencer Young. He's a great artist who is local here to Northeast Wisconsin and Green Bay, and he paints murals and cleats and all this cool stuff. He painted a couple murals for the studio here in Green Bay with a football. So we'll talk to Spencer at 6:35. He will be here in person. That'll be a gas, as they say. And then it is a bar band Friday night, folks. So Terry Barr, our Wisconsin music expert and host of Max Inc. Radio, which you can hear on WMDX Saturday nights from 6 to 9, will be here as well, bringing local music as she does every week. And she's got a couple great. Did you listen to the music she sent?
Actually, I didn't get to listen to it yet.
Good. There's a group called Bascom Hill, I assume named after Bascom Hill in Madison, but they have a great song called, you're never going to guess what it's called.
Bascom Hill?
No. Light It Up.
Oh, okay.
That's their song, Light It Up. I mean, could there be a more perfect song for this show? And to play that song in this show will be a blast. And that's at 7:35 when Terry drops by. Lots of okay, I want to discuss this because there's this actor, Neil McDonough. And, he's just like, he's one of those actors you'd know his face if you saw him. Very well traveled as an actor. He's been in a ton of stuff.
You know how I know him mostly from? He was the bad guy in Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Oh, Mall Cop 2. That's a deep dive. Holy smokes.
He's the bad guy in it.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, his deal is, and he's a good actor, handsome guy. He refuses to kiss another woman on the big screen or the small screen. He won't do it. He's very devoted to his wife. He says he does not want to kiss another woman. And he says it's cost him work. Like, studios won't go near him. They just won't offer him roles. Now, this is a few years ago. He's had, he's kind of made a little bit of a comeback, but he said it cost him roles until finally Graham Yost, one of the producers of Justified, great show with Timothy Oliphant, offered him a role as a bad guy. because he is a good actor and he has a really cool look.
Yeah, I mean, he plays such a good bad guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was in Red 2 as well, and he was a bad guy as well in that.
Was he in Yellowstone too? Maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know. He's in everything.
You know, I think he's done enough work though, because I'm just on IMDb right now, and it says 148 credits.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
a pretty decent amount.
He's halfway to our pal Richard Reilly.
Yeah.
Who's got he's got like 350. But Neil McDonough, good actor. Minority Report, Boomtown, Captain America, The First Avenger in 2011. Great resume. And the guy was not starving, even if he took a year or two off, as long as he was living smartly or within his means, I'm sure he was fine. But he says he lost his swagger, his confidence as an actor. He felt like less of a man because he wasn't working as much because people weren't offering him roles. And I respect a person who sticks to their principles. But it's just kissing. And you make good money. And usually the person you're kissing is pretty attractive. This is the sexist in me. I understand why women wouldn't do it. But man, if you're a guy, and here's why I'm saying this, his wife doesn't care. He says it has nothing to do with her saying it. She doesn't care. It's just that he loves his wife and he doesn't want to kiss anyone else.
Well, good for him, you know?
Sure. Look, I did it. In my movie, The Godfather of Green Bay, I had to do an intimate scene with Lauren Holly. It's not comfortable. I'm not a hero, okay?
You wrote it in yourself.
I did write it in myself. And it is weird, though. It's a weird, uncomfortable thing. There's nothing really sexy about it, at least not in my case. She was great. She was a trooper, but there were 8 people in the room filming this. It's not like you don't get the sense you're cheating. I was happily married at the time, still am. But I did get home for Thanksgiving that year. We shot in October in Marinette. I went back to L.A., came back for Thanksgiving, and I showed a rough cut to my family, and my mother-in-law looks at me during that scene and says, "You cad." And I get it. She was half kidding. But it's kind of, I admire him because it's kind of a gutsy stand to say I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But also it's like, just do it.
Yeah.
It's acting.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. It's acting. It's not real.
Yeah.
In the next movie would you mind writing a kiss scene for me?
You just tell me who
with
you
Sydney
want
Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, I've heard of her work. Start with her soap, and then I'll write a kissing scene for you.
Sounds good.
Make out with the bar of her soap, and then we'll talk. Oh, that's funny. Oh, we have that promo where we're talking about Sydney Sweeney's soap, and I said, what if she stinks? I know she's pretty and all that, but what if she smells really bad? And I extended an offer. I said, Sydney, come by the Nite Lite Studios. I'll smell you, and I'll let you know if it's a good product.
For free, too.
For free, exactly. Listen, I'd throw an airfare out of my own pocket. No, but my daughter heard that. And she goes, Dad, and her cousins were about her age. Like, they didn't get really the humor. They thought it was kind of weird. I'm like, I'm obviously kidding. My daughter has a great sense of humor, but it's still just the idea of her father smelling another woman. So maybe this
creepy.
Neil McDonough's onto something. I don't know. Hey, I think we should get to the Nite Lite question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Hey, I have a question. Questions?
This question.
Domanda. Question.
Question.
Questions.
All right. What is a TV show you've wanted to watch but haven't yet? What's a TV show you just haven't gotten around to watching it, but it's on your list, you want to check it out? And the inspiration for tonight's question of the night comes because I just finished Dexter last night, season 1. And it came out in 2006. My wife watched it years ago, said it was good. I just never got to it. It really, to be honest, did not interest me. I was like, wasn't really into serial killer stuff. But good writing is good writing. It's a good show. I finished the first season. It wasn't totally what I expected. They kind of kept me guessing, even though I figured out one of the elements of the story, but it was just really well done. Well acted, and I'm going to stick with it. And I think there's like 7 seasons or something, so I'm probably going to be on a bit of a Dexter kick for the next few weeks. And I know that Lisa Hale, the host of New Wisco Weekend, which you can check out tomorrow morning at 8 p.m. here on WGBW and WISS, she's a big Dexter fan, and she wants to come on the show and talk about Dexter with me.
That's a dedicated Dexter fan right there.
Yeah, and Lisa scares me, so I'm going to let her do it. No, Lisa's great. I love her takes on TV and movies, so we'll definitely line that up soon. But yeah, it's a good show. So that's mine. I kind of just did it, but there are a few others too. I haven't watched The Gilded Age yet, although that's relatively new. I only watched one season of Mad Men. I'll probably go back to that, but there are a few shows I haven't gotten to that I would like to. But what are yours? 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Let us know what show you've wanted to watch but haven't gotten around to it yet. What's yours, Con?
You know, last year I watched this show on Peacock called The Resort, and it was fantastic. It's with Kristen Milotti. I don't know however you say it, but
Kristen Milotti. I don't know who that is. Yeah.
I really liked that show, and I was like, I don't think Peacock can beat this. So I haven't watched a Peacock show since that show, and I have been meaning to give it another try and watch Poker Face.
You know what? That was one for me. I started watching it about a month ago, and I got through 5 episodes, and it's good.
It is?
It is good. And Natasha Lyonne is good. It is one of those things where I guess it's like Columbo in the sense, I never really watched Columbo. That was a little bit before my time, but like I didn't understand. She's just a regular person who always every week finds herself solving a murder. It's like, well, come on. At least make her a PI or so that part of it was just, but it is well done for what it is. I just had trouble with that kind of mechanism, but I did like it. It is a good show.
All right, I might give Peacock a chance. I don't think they can beat the show that I really liked, so I haven't.
So you're condemning the whole network. They did a good thing, but I don't trust them to beat that. So
exactly. So I'm saying.
I did start watching another show called Love and Death on HBO. I watched it about 2 weeks ago. I just watched the pilot. Jesse Plemons, Ashley Olsen. It's set in like 1980, and they have an affair. They're 2 church-going people, and they have their own family. And they have an affair, and I didn't get into it enough to find out who dies, but there is a murder on the show, and then it becomes kind of a mystery. So I'll probably go back to that. But if you like watching couples fall in love to 70s music like the Bee Gees, it is kind of cool. It's got like a cool aesthetic to it. So, but you can weigh in, folks. Let us know the show that got away, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You can text us on the app or drop us a comment on the stream if you're watching on X, YouTube, or Facebook. And let us know. You can also weigh in on the kissing thing. Would you kiss someone if you were in a movie, or would you pull a Neil McDonough and say, no, I'm not kissing anybody except my wife? And I assume he's held fast to that because I don't think he'd cave. Now he's like in his 60s, too. It's like probably circumvented a lot of those kind of roles.
Since
we hope.
I don't have a girlfriend, I don't have a problem with it.
You're like, somebody hire me. You need a kisser. Naked Gun opens this weekend, too. Very excited to see that. It's reviewing very well on Rotten Tomatoes. I think 92% was the last time I checked. And there are other movies that review higher from a fresh standpoint on Rotten Tomatoes, but for a comedy, and a silly comedy, to rank that high is pretty cool. So, all right, we're going to read your text when we come back, and I'm going to tell you about someone who posted something on Facebook that really ticked me off. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. Great to have you with me on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Took some time, but I realize I don't deserve being mistreated, right? Little by little, figured out what being in love wasn't about. Now I'm looking for the right guy that'll make me little mistreated, right?
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Get off home. I want to drive them home. When you're feeling blue, I'm thinking just of you.
Welcome back. This is a Friday night edition of Nite Lite, one of my favorite nights of the week. Definitely top 5, but I love them all, and I can't wait till Monday. But for now, we're just going to enjoy the moment. We're going to talk about some of the things we really like to talk about here. Coming up in just a few minutes, Spencer Young, local artist who paints really cool stuff, murals, cleats, and sometimes he paints with a football, as I understand it.
He did. He did last time he was on Mine on the Mayor. He did.
Yeah.
Last time he was in the studio, he did that. That's pretty
Okay.
cool.
Oh, that's great. It'll be good to have Spencer here in just a few minutes. And then it's a bar band Friday night, ladies and gentlemen. It's 7:35. Terry Barr drops by with new music. She has her finger on the pulse of the Wisconsin music scene, as always, and has picked out a great one. Of the songs is called "Light It Up," and we may have to grab that one and put that in the bumpers.
Yeah.
I love that Kaylin Cole song. It's a
it's
great song. So, well done. All right, so I have to get this off my chest. People post stuff on Facebook. Nothing is off limits. They post pictures of their food. Like they'll get a plate at a restaurant and post the food. Like, yeah, I've seen mashed potatoes and meat. I know, but whatever. Okay, you're excited about your meal. Here's what drives me bananas. All right, I have a Facebook friend who will remain nameless, Jennifer. No, this person posted. They took a hike with their family. And they called it Hike Day, and they posted like the 5 main pictures you see, the teasers or whatever. And then if you click on the 6th window, 114 photos of trees and walking. I mean, who is ever going to look at that many pictures?
That's like a step per picture, you think, right?
Yeah, 114 steps is a hike. That's me making food in my kitchen. But it's just like, come on, 114, whatever. I don't have to look. It's not like it bothers me. I'm just like, I would never take the time to do that. And I guess uploading is easy. And maybe she just didn't want to go through all of them. So I'll just post all. But what if you get the accidental one of your husband coming out of the bathroom or the kid scraping their knee or something? Like, you got to go through them. Give us some highlights. Give us three or four I'll look at.
Yeah.
Because they're great people. Oh, I want to see how this was. I'm not clicking on 114 photos of a hike through Door County.
You know what? To make it awkward, you know what you should do? You should go through and like every single one.
That's like stalker-ish. That's like restraining order.
Just the notifications, 114. Pete Schwaba, like your photo.
That is, oh my God, that would be hilarious. Or I'll do a laugh face for one, then a surprise look for the other one, and then a thumbs up, and she won't be able to go, well, why did he surprise this one but laugh at this one? This one's not funny.
The fourth tree is always surprising, you know?
It's like, I can see Sky in this one. What? So, all right, I got that off my chest. And then driving down here, I had, again, the two people going the same speed, taking up both lanes for about, it was probably only about 5 minutes. But in my head, this has gone on for like 2 hours. And I'm like, just please, you live in a society. One of you, slow down.
You know, remember yesterday when you had a mosquito flying around you?
Oh, that was weird, yeah.
You know, it's like, how does it... Today I had the same thing. I get home, and there's a fly in my apartment. Like, my windows are closed. I have the AC on. How did this happen? I was chasing that fly for literally an hour trying to kill it.
Because you can't relax.
I don't want the fly landing on me.
You know what's worse? Like, not worse, but almost as bad to me is twice this summer I've had one of those huge moths.
Oh,
it's like a bird. And they flap their wings and you can hear it going like around the lamp or the fireplace. And I can't relax because it's like, it's not like you're scared of it or it's going to hurt you. Same with a fly, but it's so irritating when they land on you.
Oh,
The flies are filthy.
I got a trick for you for that. You turn off all the lights and you turn on one.
I've done that.
And it flies to it.
Usually that works.
Yeah.
But I had one about, 3 weeks ago. That was in my daughter's room. And I tried that, and the thing, this was not his first rodeo.
He knew.
He knew what I was up to. All right, let's read some text. Our question tonight, folks, is what is a TV show you've been meaning to get to, but just haven't quite gotten around to it? I'm in the middle of one of mine. I just finished season 1 of Dexter. I did that with Poker Face. And then Love and Death. I'm going to go back to that one, but that one is a little like the whole first episode was these two married people falling in love, Jesse Plemons and Ashley Olsen. And they're both good, but it's kind of like, this sounds awful, but get to the murder, get to the mystery part of it. So I've got a few of them. Let us know what yours are. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Let's go to the stream. Drew Mania. Love that. Drew Mania says, great show. Thank you, Drew Mania. Is that our Drew?
I'm not sure.
I know he listens sometimes. He's a good dude. All right. Thank you, Drew Mania. Appreciate the text, and thank you for listening. Dave on the stream says, yes, Dexter. I'm with you, Dave. As you know, Band of Brothers, Game of Thrones. Band of Brothers, I could add. I've never seen Band of Brothers. It's supposed to be great. It's a Tom Hanks Playtone effort, and I think it scared me off. It's like the miniseries thing. Like, it's a commitment, you know? And I don't know why. Like, I watch whole seasons of shows, but yeah, I got to check out Band of Brothers. And Game of Thrones was one of mine too, but I banged that one out about 2 years ago.
I mean, do you got 5 months?
Yeah, I know. And that's one that it can be depressing if you watch too many in a row.
Especially, when Joffrey's, that whole plot with Joffrey, that takes a toll on you.
The Red Wedding.
Yeah.
Was just awful. So that's our question of the night. We have a local artist coming up in just a few minutes, folks. Spencer Young is in the studio. Very excited to have him here. And it is a bar band Friday night, 7:35 p.m. Our pal Terry Barr drops by. Let us know, too, if you want to weigh in on the kissing issue with Neil McDonough, very devoted husband. Is he too devoted? Got to put food on the table. We'll read some of your texts in a little while, so keep them coming. And great to have you with me. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite, and you've got the Civic Media Radio Network. Happy Friday, everybody. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. Great to have you with me tonight. We've got lots of fun scheduled. Got a great question. If you are so inclined, let us know. What is the TV show that got away? What have you been meaning to watch, but you just haven't gotten to it yet? I said Dexter. What was your answer, Con?
I said Poker Face.
Poker Face, that's right. And I said I've seen some Poker Face episodes. Pretty good. So that's our question tonight. You can also weigh in on the Neil McDonough kissing thing. It was in my Hollywood Beats. Was it today or yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Okay. So he refused to kiss a woman that was not his wife, even though he was cast in a movie or a TV show. That was just, he wasn't going to do it. And he thinks it cost him some work, cost him some self-confidence, but eventually he got back into it and people understood. People are pretty much good, and he's a good actor. So they started casting him again, but I don't know, man. I don't think, I did do it in a movie. So I would just do it. Conrad is begging to do it. And we'll ask our next guest what he thinks, too. He is a local artist here in Northeast Wisconsin who joins me in studio now. He's the founder of Forever Young Designs, artist Spencer Young. Welcome. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's great to have you. I've seen your work because you've painted here in the studio before.
Yep.
And it's pretty cool. Tell me what I saw you do you did like classic Packer photos.
Yep.
But you have an interesting way of painting. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, I kind of, when I run with an idea, I just go full throttle with it. So the idea was to, normally paint with a paintbrush. That's too normal. Everyone's painting with a paintbrush. So I took a football cleat and a football, and that's the only thing I used to paint those images.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
What part of the cleat? Not the actual cleat.
Oh, yeah. So everything. So I utilized the shoelaces as kind of like a little fine detail brush, the toe as to cover more surface area on the canvas with the paint. It's kind of fun just challenging myself with different, ideas and possibilities. And hopefully, I can incorporate it in my future stuff. And if it fails, it fails. And I never visit that again.
That's the great thing about, I love when artists figure out a fresh approach to something that hasn't been done before, something new and unique. Before we get into too much of your work, though, tell me a little bit about you, Spencer, your background personally.
Yeah, I grew up in a small town just outside Green Bay, Shiocton. When I graduated high school there, I went to St. Norbert, played a little college football for a couple years, and graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree with emphasis in graphic design. Went corporate a little bit, wasn't my cup of tea, and I decided to take a chance on myself. I always had a ability to draw and paint, and within like that first month being on my own, I got a phone call asking to paint the iconic Packer fence outside Lambeau Field.
So you painted that. That is so cool.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll get to that too. But why didn't you like the corporate stuff? Is where the money's at, I would imagine.
It was good pay.
Too limiting?
It restricted my creativity. You know, everything's super brand standard, to say the least. And you know, when you're using the color like a mute puke green color over and over and over again, it kind of gets boring.
They don't even want that to be flashy.
No. So I just like, you know, I know I could be doing something that I enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I didn't enjoy working in the corporate setting. It was just like not what I wanted to do. It wasn't my purpose in life. So,
you know what's interesting? And I'm not trying to like, pardon me, bash corporate anything, but because when I'm still a writer, but when I was making most of my money writing, I wrote screenplays. But when you write a screenplay, it's like you don't know where to start almost. It's like it's 120 pages. What do I do? What I liked about freelancing for corporations or studios was they gave you parameters.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's a relief. Don't you think creatively you're like, okay, I got to do whatever I can within this framework?
Yeah, it's nice to have a little structure, you know? That's why, too, like, I freelance graphic design, so, like, when someone gives me, like, a set task where, you know, certain guidelines I need to follow, it's nice. But then there's times where I'm like, well, I kind of just want to go crazy and see what I can come up with on my own, and, you know, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. So,
wow, good for you for starting your own business too. What kind of stuff do you do at Forever Young Designs? Like what do you, or is it commissions or is it people?
It's my philosophy is if I could throw paint on something and it sticks, basically anything. Okay. So murals, paintings on canvases. I even customized cleats and shoes and jackets, hats, graphic design work. Pretty much anything art related, I've probably dabbled in a time or two. Who
hires you? Like if I'm a regular guy, if I'm a business, how does that work? What would people hire you for? To do cool invitations, a big mural, or like anything, huh?
Generally, it's just like a random message. Like it can be like, you know, 11 o'clock at night. It could be right away in the morning. Just, hey, would you be interested in painting a mural? Would you be interested in painting shoes? So it's like, it's something new every day, and you know, that's what I really enjoy about it, because it's like you never know what the next day is going to bring.
How long did it take you? You said you got a call kind of quickly, but how long did it take you to the point where this is what you do?
So I was like a month in on my own painting one mural, and then I had that phone call asking to paint that Packers fence, and I just kind of rolled with it, and you know, my work got kind of out there in the area, and you know, build connections and just talk with a bunch of people, and people see my work. And
it's got to help when you have it's like a billboard kind of people drive by. Who did that?
Definitely.
So tell us about that. Tell us about the Packer fence.
Yeah.
What was your inspiration for that?
So like I said, the owner reached out to me because it has been a tradition in the community that, you know, is pretty well known if you're in the community. They wanted to continue that tradition, and every year we just come up with a specific theme to like that would tailor that season. So the one season, like when Rodgers threw the Hail Mary pass at Ford Field, the home opener for that season was against Detroit. So we did a homage to that play.
Nice.
Let's just say there were not a lot of happy Detroit Lions fans. But,
maybe did a little painting of their own late at night after a few drinks over your creation. So, all right, and then you did some stuff down the street here, right?
A little bit everywhere, I guess. Okay. So I do a lot in the Green Bay community. I've traveled as far as New York installing murals, Texas. Going to be going out to Indiana here pretty quick to install another one right outside Indianapolis. So
wow,
yeah.
So getting out of Wisconsin too.
Pretty much.
Wow, nice.
Yep.
So what's the meaning? Where did you come up with Forever Young Design?
So it's got like layers, I guess. So my last name's Young.
Yeah.
So kind of wanted to pay homage to like not only myself, but like the people that kind of brought me to the situation I'm in today. So I had amazing parents that, supported me in my crazy endeavors. And, I come from a very small town. So when they say you want to be an artist, there's some parents that might be a little skeptical at first, but mine were like all on board. They supported what I wanted to do. So with that being said, I just wanted to make sure like I was carrying a legacy at the end of the day. So
My guest is Spencer Young. He is the founder of Forever Young Designs and a local artist here in Northeast Wisconsin, although we just found out he's starting to go everywhere and bring his art to different communities. Let me ask you something, because with my background too, I get asked that question. Oh, my kid wants to do this, but I say they should have a fallback.
Yeah.
And I always say, don't have a fallback.
No.
Do what you want to do. You can always go back to school.
Yeah.
And then throw yourself into something else, but setting yourself up in almost expecting to fail.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for me. And I tell my kids that too. I'm like, go full throttle at it. You got to support yourself.
Yep.
But go at it with everything you have and then see where you're at.
Yeah. I always say if I had any doubt when I first started, I would have never attempted to do it.
Right.
Because like I always I watch a lot of like shows, and like the cartoon and anime shows, there's always the protagonist is always a positive attitude. That's kind of how I approach life too. It's like, you don't want to have any negative thoughts or like ideas that you're not going to be successful in what you want to pursue. So like for me, like I always had the mentality, it's like, I'm going to go big or go home.
Right.
And nothing's going to stop me.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You're not like going to law school during the day, doing your art at night.
I'll stick on one thing. I'll make sure I give everything I got in one category.
You gotta.
So.
Otherwise, you can always, like I said, you can always switch gears. I love too. There was this comedian named Charles Fleischer who was in the Roger Rabbit movies as a voice, and he was a comedian. He said when people came up to him and said, "I want to be a comedian," what do you think? He always said, "Don't do it." And he said if that was enough to get them not to do it, they never would have made it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not quite that harsh, but he's got a point.
Yeah.
I mean, so for what you do, is there competition around here, or do you kind of have the market? Are you the guy people come to paint?
I mean, I don't really think of it as competition. I feel like it's a big enough sandbox that anyone can have their opportunities, So like whenever I see another artist have like a project, I'm like, good for them. Like that's amazing. Like I'm their fan too. Cause at the end of the day, like, I don't think there's really rivalry. I think there should be just like healthy competition almost.
Sure.
Whereas like we should support each other because we're all just in this same field and we all want to be successful at the end of the day. And
ideally learn from each other to some degree or be inspired by each other. We were talking before you came on. I said my cousin does art. He paints with two hands and he does these shows, and he's down in Chicago, so he paints a lot of Chicago sports stuff, and they've since moved. But I'm fascinated. Like, what is your style? Does it have a name?
Not really. Okay. I just think it's inspired by a lot of things from my experiences growing up. So a lot of artists influence my work. Like I said, a lot of life experiences. I just, I pick up a brush and whatever my brain tells me to paint, I just paint it. So
if somebody said, "Oh yeah, Spencer Young, he's that blank artist,"
and
what would they say?
It's kind of funny because like I notice people will say, "Oh, I know that's a Spencer Young original right there," but it's like I can't see that. Like for me, it just comes naturally.
Yeah.
So I don't know what is the giveaway that makes it
interesting,
my own artwork. So.
Do you have influences like Pollock or Picasso, whatever? Do you have people that influenced you?
Yeah, so Dr. Seuss. I love Dr. Seuss. Like if you ever look up his like dark series paintings, like definitely a 180 from what you normally see in the children's books. Then David Cho, that's always a fascinating character. He's the one that painted the headquarters at Facebook, and then instead of getting a payment, he invested in the stock at Facebook, and then he became essentially, when they went public, like $300 million or something. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So you
should have held out for more money.
I know, it's like,
I want a free Facebook account. Done.
Right. Well, and it's like, that's the cool thing. It's like, it's not just his artwork, but I love that he took a chance on himself and like, it really paid off. If I'm one to gamble, I don't go to casino, but I gamble on myself a lot for my opportunities. So
that's what you should gamble on, right?
Exactly.
You're going to show up and do the job, not have to rely on others. You were recently on ESPN. How did that? How did that call come through, and what was that like?
Kind of crazy. I had a phone call from a producer. He asked me, "You're the artist that paints the fences around the area?" I said, "Yes, I am." And we got your contact information from someone that works in the studio here, and we'd love to do like a small segment with you. And I said, "Lucky for you, I'm painting a mural in the area. So if you want to stop by with the cameras and talk to me, then yeah, we can make that happen." So
That's pretty cool. All right, we're going to find out. I'm going to ask Spencer what he painted when he was on ESPN when we come back, and we'll find out more about this up-and-coming artist who is right here in Northeast Wisconsin. Is pretty cool, and we'll ask him about the show that got away, too. That's coming up next after this very short break on Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
My sugar boo, I'm levitating, the Milky Way, we're renegading, yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night, come on dance with me. I'm levitating, you, moonlight, you're my starlight. I need you all night, come on dance with me.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
All the colors of the world should be loving each other the heartbeat.
Welcome back, folks.
Yes, it's all.
We are lighting it up here on a Friday night from downtown Green Bay as we broadcast statewide here on the Civic Media Radio Network. So great to have you with me. My guest at the moment is Spencer Young, local artist here in Green Bay, although he is more nationally recognized now. We were talking before the break about how he was recently featured on ESPN. And did you paint something specific for that appearance?
yeah, so I actually painted a fence in someone's backyard. So
Oh, nice.
Green Bay themed, and it was right across Lambeau Field. Yeah, so couldn't
cool.
be a better like setting for that.
What was ESPN like? Were they just kind of like letting you do your thing, or was it just,
Oh yeah,
they
they
wanted
just
to film
said
you?
paint and we'll ask you questions. And
Wow.
I talked with Shay. I think she was live at training camp reporting, so had the ear pods in and everything, listening to her talk. So
Are you a Packer fan?
oh, 100%. Yeah, no doubt. I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't. So
You wouldn't be an artist if you weren't a
well,
Packer
I
fan?
mean, like I wouldn't be like. So I actually work with a lot of the Packer players and
Okay.
too when I customize like football cleats and shoes. So I would say a good majority of my work is with the players too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you paint cleats? I mean, is it a special kind of paint that doesn't wear off?
Yeah, it's basically trial and error, and a lot of prep work is involved. So, like, the best way to describe it is if you want to paint your vehicle, like, obviously you sand it, you acetone, wipe it down, then you do like thin coats of paint, and then basically you have a nice shiny car. It's the same thing with shoes too.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it lasts. Like it.
Yeah, I mean, like, it has this natural wear and tear after
Yeah.
a while, you know, but like for the most part, yeah, they hold up pretty good.
So our question of the night is, what's the TV show that got away? One you've been meaning to watch, and a lot of people have said Dexter, myself included.
Yeah.
You were a huge fan of the show.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's now they got the new series coming out, so
Yeah.
started rewatching that. And then if I had to say the one that I need to watch, it just came out yesterday. So, and that's Twisted Metal.
Oh yeah, you were
Yeah.
telling me about that during the break. What is
Yep.
that show now?
So it's like based on a video game. So like I remember being a kid and I played that game all the time. You know, it's kind of like a battle royale game.
Yeah.
So they made an adaptation to it, and yeah, the first season was amazing. Now season 2's here, and it's gonna even get better, I think.
Isn't it exciting when you have like a whole show to look forward to? Like,
Oh, for sure.
you watch movies?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
Yeah. What have you seen
Pretty much everything.
this
you know?
summer?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say you've seen pretty much everything, you mean like?
I mean, like just all genres in
Oh,
general.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's nothing that, you know, when there's always something out there for me to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So, all right, tell people where they can see your work, Spencer. You have your website, social media
Yeah.
stuff?
www.foreveryoungdesigns.com. I'm on social media, so Instagram, Facebook, but yeah, I post right on daily, so you can see my art quite frequently if you're following me. So
That's so great. Can we put some of his art up on the stream? If you're watching on the stream, folks, on YouTube, Facebook, or so I've seen that. You did that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
and
How
then
long does that take you?
a day?
One day?
Yeah,
for the whole thing?
so as tradition for the past like 10 seasons, wake up at the crack of dawn, paint there until basically the sun goes down.
So if you're watching in the stream, folks, we're looking at, it's a picture of Jordan Love winding up to throw a pass. It says, "My Packers, go Pack." And what else? What else?
Yeah, I love my Green Bay Packers.
I love
So
Jordan Love. Okay, gotcha.
It's the paying homage to Eddie J's polka song. I love my Green.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So what was that like when you just said you're a huge Packer fan growing up? You played football at St. Norbert's. Yep. You're a Northeast Wisconsin guy. When you got a contract from the Packers and when you were commissioned by them, how high were you?
And that's the thing. It's not really a contract by the Packers itself, but it's like a local resident in the area. And he asked me, like, this is just tradition. Like, and I already knew growing up what the fence was because, like, my grandpa, who's also an artist, and I should have mentioned him as
that's cool.
Artist that influenced me. He was the biggest Packer fan I ever knew. So, like, unfortunately, he passed away before I started doing all this. And I know he's grinning ear to ear, you know, when he saw that opportunity because he knows what the fence was. So it's kind of cool that, like, something that I would hang out with him, like drawing at the table, creating art, and now, like, you know, get to kind of pass that along.
It's cool, too. You were talking about during the break about your dad who poured concrete.
Yeah.
Very different than what you do.
Yeah, he's happy that I found what I wanted to do. I know he said he just didn't want me to bust my back like he did, you know, and I know how hard he's worked throughout his whole life and to make sure I had a good opportunity. So
you do kind of look like you could, like, lift blocks of concrete though and just install them.
Don't get me wrong, I'd help him in the summer, you know, but it wasn't anything too strenuous.
Are you doing something this year for the start of the season? Do you have anything lined up? Or?
Yeah, so the plan is to paint something. It's always the day before the first home opener, so it'd be September 7th, but we got a couple ideas in the work. It's normally a surprise when, like, the fans come in, so got to keep it on the down low till then.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a teaser. When will they be able to see what you've done?
Yeah, right at the home opener.
Home opener.
Yep.
Can you say where it will be, or?
Yep, the same fence. So that fence gets painted every year.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's funny because, like, we had to replace the fence one year because there was so much paint on it. Yeah, like, and it was like kind of weighing it down a little bit. So
can we pull up another of Spencer's paintings, Con? Chris Farley, that's awesome.
That's my hero.
That is so cool.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite. I actually did a recent Chris Farley painting too. It's a quote from Dirty Jobs or Dirty Works. Yeah. So I was with the skunk. I can't remember what the quote was, but I had to make sure I incorporated that quote in one of my paintings. So
all right, if you want to learn more about Spencer's work, follow him on the socials. Go to his website. He does great work. This was fun, man. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you having me. You know,
my pleasure. And thank you for the Dexter endorsement because I'm gonna the better part of the next few weeks. I'm going to be wrapped up catching up on that too. So, all right, Spencer, young folks, check out his work. We are coming back for Act 2 after intermission. It is a bar band Friday night, folks. Terry Barr will be here at 7:35, and we will read your text coming up next. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Go!
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.